A very warm good morning to all of you. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Okay, so today we are at the third day of this FDP, and today we have the first session on critical thinking. So today the entire day will be on critical thinking and creativity. So these are the two topics that will be handled today, the three sessions. So we have different resource persons. As yesterday, we have for all the three sessions, different resource person. And it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. S. Kavita, who will be handling the first session. And she is going to give an introduction on critical thinking. And she is also coordinating this FDP along with me. Welcome, Dr. Kavita. It gives me real pleasure to introduce you. She has over 20 years experience, both in academia as well as industry. And she's currently the Associate Professor in Management at GRG School of Management Studies, Krishnamal College for Women. She holds a PhD degree in management and is an accredited management teacher of All India Management Association in IT domain. And she was a gold medalist in her MBA and MCA program. Dr. Kavita has been a resource person in numerous faculty development programs and workshops on management research, online teaching tools, digital marketing, etc. She has organized a significant number of faculty development programs, short-term training programs, national and international conferences sponsored by government and funding agencies like AICT and ICSSR. She has received a funding of over 20 lakhs also from AICT. And she has been a project director and co-project director of ICSSR and UGC grants. And she has successfully completed those research projects. She has widely published in national and international refereed journals and is an approved guide for doctoral scholars. She is also into consulting assignments by supporting the SMEs. For the last 2 years, she is offering an online course on social media marketing to the students of our international partner institutions organized by CETIS University, Mexico. She was also the champion of ACBSP International Accreditation process at GRGSMS. Welcome, Dr. Kavita. It's a pleasure having you. And it's all yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vandana, for the words, for introducing me. Thank you so much. So good morning, everyone. 1 second, let me just stop sharing this. Yeah. Hope you all can see my slide, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's getting shared.
Yeah. 1 second.
Time to load. Today also the schedule is like that. Yeah. Till 11:15 we have the first session. Then till 1 we have the second, and likewise the third. Okay. Yes, Dr. Kavita, we can. It's loading.
You can see my screen.
It is loading.
Oh, it's saying that my screen sharing is paused. 1 second, let me just check it out. Can you see my screen now? No, right?
No.
Now? Not it? Okay, no. 1 second. Let me again share it.
Maybe it is taking time to load. That's it.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Vandana. And good morning. I think we have only around 47 participants. Yeah, thank you, Rajilakshmi. I think still people will be joining, right, Vandana? But we'll start and we'll continue, right?
Yes, you start.
Yeah, okay. So I think some of the participants here, you might have participated in our earlier FDPs also. And these 2 years, our institution, we have been continuously organizing a lot of FDPs, short-term training programs like this. Okay, but on a specific, generally we used to organize only in management related domains. Okay, but this is the first time we have a program which is specifically designed for imparting soft skills. Okay, So I hope that this is again, the place where we have got the opportunity to get participants from different domain also. So actually we are enjoying that. We got around 199 participants who have registered for this, and I think regularly about 140 are attending that. Okay, and it's good, and we have participants from all over India also. And particularly this particular session is concerned the entire day today, as Vandana was mentioning, you are going to talk or we are going to listen to the different resource person on critical thinking. And do you all think that in today's environment, critical thinking is important? Yes? Can I get some response? Are you all there? Can anybody even in the chat can respond? I hope you all can hear me, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you. And let me just start with the first, maybe the overview, what we are going to discuss under this particular session. We'll be talking about what is critical thinking, try to understand it, because different people, different researchers, different experts are giving us different definitions for it. Okay. So I'll just start with what are the different types of thinking. Under that, what is critical thinking? Okay. And who is a critical thinker? What are the various characteristics? What are the different models available for critical thinking? So that once we understood those kind of models, maybe we'll have the clarity on how we can design our own programs in order to assess the critical thinking skills of our students. Okay. So there may be a lot of barriers and challenges. Maybe that you'll be continuing in the second session of today's session. Okay. But anyway, we will have an overview about all these during this particular session. And how do we measure it? How do we improve like that? Okay. So I want this also to be a more of an interactive session. You can also share your experiences if already you have started using these kind of critical thinking in your organization, in your college, how you are assessing all those things. Okay. So we look forward for those kind of interaction. So let me just start with first this 21st century learning skills. So what do you think maybe the different types of learning skills that may be required in the present environment? Can I get some responses? What do you think will be important for the 21st century? The learners, the students should have all these different types of skills. So which one come to your mind when you think about this? What may be the different skills? Yes? Whatever you feel like. Even you can type it in the chat. I hope you got my question right. What may be the different types of skills which may be required among our students?
Communication skills.
Yes. Okay. Communication skills, listening skills, open-minded, interested in learning. Okay.
Analyze.
Out-of-box thinking, analytical skills. Critical thinking. Yes.
Logical thinking.
Logical thinking. So even to think critically, we should have some logic, right? Okay, technical skills, very important. Because otherwise, analytical. Okay, analytical skills, emotional intelligence.
No, ma'am, ethical skills also.
Ethical skills, yeah, very true. We have to have that ethics, right? Whatever we do, whatever decisions we make. Yes. So you have a lot of skills to be required. Yes, sir.
Sincerity.
Sincerity. Okay.
Open-minded.
Problem solving, adaptability, open-minded. Good. So a lot of skills, right? So actually they are broadly classifying these 21st century learning skills into 3 different categories. Okay. So under learning skills, you have these important 4 different skills, 4 C's they refer it. So under the first one itself is your critical thinking. Okay. You also have creativity, collaboration, communication. Maybe the creativity we'll be talking during our last session, how important it is. Then collaboration, already we have been talking about interpersonal skills. okay, and communication. I think you have sessions on communication also, right? So broadly, these learning skills, these 4 C's, they find it very important. Followed by, you have other literacy skills. So literacy means specifically related to your technology, the information, media, okay, all those are also important. Then also your life skills like leadership, flexibility, initiative, productivity, soft skills, okay. So my point here is, out of all these different skills, what gave in about 12 skills, broadly classified under 3 different groups. The first important skill they talk about is your critical thinking, okay. But do you think critical thinking is important, and are we all critical thinkers? Are we all critical thinkers? Yes or no?
Ma'am, nowadays, so definitely, we are always ready to critic, to be
Yes.
critical.
Each and everything you started questioning, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, but it also depends on our situation in different situations also, I think. In some situation, I used to think each and everything in detail, and I'll execute it, I'll critique it. Maybe in some other situation, maybe I am very much connected with my emotion, that I'm not thinking about anything, just like that I'll make decision. Yes or no? You all agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
So 100% I can't say whether I am all the time, whether I am a critical thinker, right? So that doubt always we may have it. But I think Rajalakshmi is saying there is a need to think critically before execution. Very good. If you have been, but which professionals maybe you consider that critical thinking is very, very important? For whom? Is there any specific professionals in family or emotional? Yeah, very true. In which profession do you think? Teachers?
Teachers.
Yes. Yeah, because we have to be critical thinker, only then we can develop that with our students, right? Very true. Then, who else? Any other profession which requires critical thinking?
Law industry, ma'am.
Law, because especially our judges, those who are analyzing the different facts, evidences, advocates, lawyers, okay, your judges, before coming to a conclusion, they have to do they have to apply, they have to collect a lot of data, analyze. These advocates will be presenting that, right? So you have 2 sides they are presenting. So as a judge, he has to take all those, analyze, come out with the proper decision. So critical thinking is very, very important for us. Where else? Where else? Which professionals?
For business
Teachers,
also,
advocates. Yes. Mainly for business, right? Each and every decision that we take in a business, unless you think critically, unless you consider or do a proper analysis and take a decision, definitely you cannot be successful. So for business, especially when you are taking some maybe a decision that is going to impact you, either in a medium term or a short term or long term, whatever it is. If it's going to impact you, definitely we have to put in a lot of critique into it, think about it, then we have to make a decision. Isn't it? So like that, different professionals, maybe over a time, we'll be talking about all those with some cases to understand it better. And I think you all will agree with me that these are the skills that we have to impart among our students, the present generation, coming generation, everybody. You all agree with me? Yes? Whatever is being listed, you all agree that this will be the required skills?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So before I proceed, let me just try to run a small poll. Okay. I'm launching a poll. See whether you're all getting the poll. So very simple question. Are you a critical thinker? Yeah. I've started getting answers. I'll give you another 30 seconds. You all can participate. Hope everybody has got the poll. Okay, good, good. Still people are responding. Maybe 6 seconds more. Yeah, fine. I'm ending it. So most of you have said you are critical thinkers. That's good. Okay. But those who have said I am not a critical thinker also, maybe the reason maybe like as I was mentioning earlier, I don't know, can anybody tell me why do you consider yourself as not a critical thinker? Anybody wants to share it? I think some of you have responded, right? You are not a critical thinker. What is the reason for that? Anybody wants to share? Or at least somebody who has responded that, yes, I am a critical thinker. Can you tell me why? Why do you consider yourself as a critical thinker?
Actually, ma'am, I'm a teacher. So for a teacher for day by day activity of students or to evaluate them, I think I'm a critical thinker for.
Okay. So you will be, as a teacher, when our students are giving some response or submitting some assignments or whatever it is, on seeing that information itself, we can do an analysis about that particular student, right? Easily we can find out whether they've just copied and submitted the assignment or whether they've applied their own knowledge and they've returned. Easily we can find out, right? We can differentiate that, yes. So somewhere we are applied. Maybe because of that you might have created because of your experience over a time. Yes? Yes. Agree with me? Okay, okay. Good. So anybody who's considering themselves, they're not critical thinker. The level of how much we are thinking, that is different. Okay. But my simple question, do you consider yourself as a critical thinker or not? That's it. Can anybody tell me? Yeah, yes, sir.
Depending upon the situation, every individual becomes a critical thinker. I think so.
Yes. Okay.
For instance, if you take a farmer, he has to apply his mind from the various dimensions. When he has to cultivate the land, when he has to apply the pesticides, when he has to go for harvesting and other things.
Yes.
And keeping in the mind of the inclement weather. All these things, I'm giving one instance.
Yes.
A student also becomes a critical thinker when he is supposed to take the examination. How I am supposed to take the examination, how I am going to present the examination, all these things. Homemaker mothers become a critical thinkers. How do I manage my family? I think so every individual, irrespective of the, as you said, level of thinking, is a critical thinker. My perspective, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you so much for that response. I think Sujata Logananda ma'am, she has replied, critical thinking includes your observation, analysis, interpretation, reflection, evaluation, inference, explanation, problem solving, decision making. So almost all other skills are also being part of your critical thinking, right? It is very difficult to separately split that. Yeah, I do agree with that. And Kamalpan, you've raised your hand. What is it?
I would like to add on one more point.
Yes, sir.
I think when you are able to analyze what are the pros and cons of some particular thing and decide upon what should be the right strategy to deal with that particular situation, gives you an echo of critical thinking.
Very true, very true. Okay. So thank you so much. And I think Preeti Agarwal, sometimes our emotions become harder. Yes, there are a lot of barriers for our critical thinking. That is the reason there are a lot of challenges also in that. That is the reason we allotted a separate session. The next session is only for that particular. We are going to discuss about what are the various barriers and challenges that we can face while going in for these kind of critical thinking. Okay, or even the challenges that we will face when we want to impart these skills among our students. Okay. So that's very true. So thank you all. Thank you so much for all your participation and response. Let me just. So this critical thinking is overall, everybody has started talking about it, even though this concept is there. Even, when Socrates, that person, people used to consider that he is is a critical thinker, right? Each and everything, he said that he will be asking a lot of questions. So even it has started from those days, but recent days, there are a lot of people who have been talking about critical thinking, and there are a lot of workshops, everything is going on. So I just searched in Google, what are the content available about critical thinking? You will be surprised to see within 0.73 seconds, I'm able to get 1070 millions. Okay, 1070 millions are available. That means you can understand how the entire world is talking about this particular concept. Okay. So what is critical thinking? I just want to give a normal definition. So your ability to use your intelligence, knowledge and skills to question and carefully explore the situations, and we have to arrive at a proper or thoughtful conclusions based on the evidence. That is the reason we said for advocates, okay, or the judges, they will take all their decision based on the evidences submitted. So for them, critical thinking is very, very important. Even for a businessman, before taking a decision, before launching, say example, if either it may be a new product development, okay, I'm going for a new product, I want to launch that. Even before taking the decision, I have to do a lot of analysis. I should collect the market information, market research, analyze, okay, and based on whatever supporting evidences I have to come to a conclusion. That based on that, I have to take my decision. I think almost most of you here, you have done your PhD, right? So when we have completed our research, our doctoral degree, don't you think that we all have applied the critical thinking into what? That is a very important activity that we have done in our life, right? Our PhD. Yes or no? I think most of you here are doctorates. So we all have used or we have applied the critical thinking. Otherwise, your research will not be a good one, right? You should know which is good, which is bad. Whatever I'm saying, I should justify it with some appropriate evidences. So I might have collected a lot of data, I've analyzed it, then I've come to a conclusion. That is what the suggestions I'm making. So in our research, definitely in our PhD work, we all might have used this critical thinking. Actually, I thought of creating a word cloud with whatever you feel like about critical thinking. I think already in the chat itself, many of you have shared a lot of words, right? You can just go through the chat. There are a lot of words related with critical thinking, like observation, analysis, interpretation, reflection, evaluation, inference, explanation, problem solving, decision making, you know. Okay, so are you all interested? Like, you know, some words I think Sujata ma'am have shared it. Like that, do you all have any other words using which we can create a word cloud? Whether you're interested to do that? Now itself we can create a word cloud for critical thinking, so that we can convert that as an image, and even along with our slides, we'll share that also with you. You can have it as a record. So that is your ideas that we are going to put together. Ready for that? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Once again, I'll just open this. Meanwhile, you can all think about some terms. You can even start typing it, or you can tell me, I will create it in the word cloud. So are you all seeing my screen now, wordsclouds.com? Or still you are seeing my PPT?
Still the
PPT.
PPT only. 1 second. Then I'll share it again. Yeah, can you see this?
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So actually, I'm using wordclouds.com even in your for classes, because nowadays most of us taking classes through online, right? You can use this kind of tool also for effective teaching. So here I'm going to create a new word cloud. Maybe I'm going to just type some text. So you're going to tell me whatever you feel like in a critical thinking, what are the words you consider? So we are going to create a word cloud for critical thinking. So can you come out with some words? I'll just start with critical thinking itself. You can tell me the words. Maybe I'll take some words from what already Sujata ma'am has said. Maybe like she has said, observation, analysis, interpretation.
Comparison.
Okay, comparison.
Planning.
Okay, planning.
Deliberate.
Deliberate. Inference. I'm taking again from some words from what she has written already. You can also tell me. We'll see how much we can do it. So problem solving.
Interpretation.
Interpretation.
Reasoning.
One second. Interpretation. And somebody else was saying?
Reasoning.
Reasoning. Yeah, very good.
Reflection or reflecting.
Reflections. Okay. Brainstorming. Yeah, very true. One second.
Conceptualizing.
Brainstorming. Conceptualizing.
Ma'am, conclusion.
Okay. Conclusion.
Contrast.
Yeah. That's it. Any other things come to your mind when you think about critical thinking?
Assessment.
Assessment. Okay, assessing.
Outlook.
Logical.
Logical.
Logically, yeah.
Okay, logical is very important. Okay, evaluation, I think already we have done, right?
Ma'am, can we put the word theory? Can we put theory?
Yeah, even building your theory itself, yeah, it requires critical thinking, right? Theory will be the base for your further research. But whether you're going to apply that, which theory, the appropriate theory that I can apply, definitely it requires critical thinking.
Contemplating.
Yes?
Contemplating.
Contemplating, okay.
Ma'am, can we put the word judgment?
Judgment, yeah, taking right decisions, right? Out of the alternative. Yeah, I have my grammar list, right? Please suggest me.
Then can we put the word philosophical?
Philosophical.
No, I don't think so.
I doubt, but maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Argument.
Arguments, yes.
Creative thinking.
Yes, sir.
Creative thinking.
Creative thinking, yeah.
Rational.
Sir, I'm not hearing you.
Rational, ma'am. Rational.
Rational. I think already you put rational, right? No. Okay.
Reflective.
Reasoning you put. Yeah. Reflective. Okay. Good. So a lot of words are coming up, right? You stop with that, or anybody want to add any words? Fine.
Thought process, thought clarity.
Brainstorming, reflective, logical thinking, reasoning. Even somebody has put sequencing. Okay. Correct sequencing may require.
Ma'am, can we put deductive?
Yeah, it's a very important term.
Yeah, deductive. Then
induction, deduction. Maybe both the things we'll be talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Inductive or deduction.
And this whole process is a part of critical thinking only.
Yes. All the problems.
Ma'am, can we put the word annotate?
Annotate. Where do we use that? Maybe, yeah, whichever is important that you are going to annotate, that may require a critical thinking, right?
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yes. Observations. Okay.
Consistency.
Open-mindedness. Somebody has put open-mindedness. Open-mindedness. Okay. observation, analysis, explanation. Okay, fine. I think we can keep on keep on adding a lot of words. It is just like a brainstorming, right? You all coming out with your own ideas. Good. So I'll just, synthesis. Shall I close this? Shall we create word cloud?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I think we have taken majority of the words. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you so much. So I'm just pressing apply. See all the words. You can choose your own shape, whichever is relevant for you. Okay. Can you find any image like some thinking? Maybe I'm just trying to choose an appropriate image. Can you find anything?
Ma'am, we need to choose an image which is related to the words that we said right now.
Yeah, in that case, it will be like we are applying critical thinking there also, right?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Otherwise, it will be just like even you can use some of the letters like this. That format also you can.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, it is choice is ours. I'm just looking for is there any figure that I can find out which I can relate it to critical thinking. Can you find anything? Some analysis. Yes?
Accuracy.
So can you see this? Oh yeah, that's fine. That is a word you are saying, right? Yes, sir. No, I'm just asking you which figure will suit us. Or if you want, I can choose any figure. Maybe I don't want to waste time in searching for the particular word now. Maybe let me just take this U shape. Yeah. Like that, you can change the theme, colors, whatever you want. You can use your creativity and you can save this as an image file. Okay, then I can share it with all of you as a word cloud. Got it? So this is critical thinking word cloud that is being created by all of you. Because most of the time, what you will do in your whenever you want to have some material, something, you will just Google or search it and take it, right? Then you will just copy it, what is being created by others. And you will be involving in some kind of copyright issues. I think for that better that we can use these kind of tools. Hope you liked it, right? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
No. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Nice.
Okay, thank you. But one second, before sharing, let me just put it in the speaker view. And thank you all for your contribution, and that image will be shared with all of you, right? You all have the rights for that image. Then, so Henry Ford is saying, thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably why so few engage in it. Even though we all agree that we all critically thinking, or even thinking itself, Henry Ford is saying it is the hardest work, and that may be the reason that only few people engage in it. Because in a world where you have been doing all the work in a very hurry, just you want to finish something, sometimes we'll be doing something without thinking at all. I think you all will agree with me, right? Even though we may be critical thinker in different situations, but some situations, sometimes without thinking, we will do something. And afterwards, you will be just thinking, oh, I have done a mistake. You'll be realizing that later, right? Yes or no? You all agree with me? Even our PhD work itself you take, they might have completed PhD, but now they might have been thinking, see, I might have done my PhD even better. I might have applied all this. Yes or no? How many of you will have such a kind of feeling? After completing PhD also, I have the feeling that whatever I've done in my PhD, maybe that time I'm in a hurry because only if I finish PhD, maybe I'll get, I may become a professor in a college, or they're insisting that minimum you should have the PhD, all those things. So in a hurry, I'm just finishing, submitting. Then finally, I'm just thinking what I've done, whether it is right or wrong. Maybe later stage, you'll be realizing that. But I'm not saying that everybody is like that. But I've seen some of the people who used to tell me, ma'am, after PhD only, really we started learning about research. And that is even true. Your real research starts only after your PhD. Yes?
Perfectly.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And there are 4 different types of thinking we can have. Okay, maybe psychologists, they may have different other classifications and all, but we are just going to focus on these 4 so that we will have the clarity about what we have been learning in the entire day. So it starts with simply the convergent or analytical thinking. That is what traditionally everybody we used to follow. Even solving a simple problems, we'll be using only an analytical thinking, right? So I think many mathematics teachers will be here. You are giving a problem to your students, and there are like 60 students in the class. All the 60 of them are not going to solve it at the same time, right? When I'm giving a problem, whether everybody is going to solve it in the same time? No, right?
No, ma'am.
So based on their individual capacity, we may have different type of learners in our class. There may be some slow learners, or there may be some exceptionals. All those categories may be there. But in this analytical thinking, what it is involved is whenever some problem is being given to you, I have to just apply whatever knowledge already I've got. Say example, if I'm asking you what is 4 into 2, it is just some mathematics, the calculation already I've learned, isn't it? So immediately you can give me an answer. But how fast you are giving based on your individual capacity. So that is what they mean by the analytical or convergent thinking, that everybody will be having. Maybe it will differ based on the speed, logic, all those things. Whereas the second category you have is divergent thinking. So in divergent, it is not that I'm going to, in analytical, maybe everybody is going to have the same answer. But in divergent thinking, it is not so. Maybe there may be different alternate solutions. Different solutions are there. But as a thinker, I should decide which may be the best. In most of the management case studies, we used to follow only divergent thinking. Okay, because there is no right or wrong answer. It is the way how we are justifying that. And the third you have is critical thinking. So maybe I may involve some analytical into it. I may have a divergent. But here in critical, each and everything, I am trying to question it. Trying to go back, understand my problem clearly. Okay, why, what, where? We have to ask all the different possible questions. And from that, maybe I say that this may be the right decision. Okay, so that is what your critical thinking is. Then what is creative thinking? Is all critical thinking or creative? Or creative thinking compulsorily involves critical thinking? Can you understand my question? Is all critical thinking or creative? When we say something is creative,
all critical thinking cannot be creative.
Creative, yes.
It can be analysis based, not creating anything, but just you are making getting an inference out of it.
Yes,
but as far as creative is concerned, it is your own innovation, your own.
Something new we are coming out, isn't it? Which is not there. Something new, and that is the reason even PhD they say that, especially in our social science PhDs and all, they say that you should come out with your own model. Critical thinking I am applying and analyzing with all existing literature, everything. But what additional knowledge you are adding into it? That is your creativity, right? New thing you are trying to innovate. So like that, these 4 different types of thinking are there. So analytical, as I was saying, these are key elements required to be a skilled convergent thinker. You should have the speed, accuracy, and logic. So convergent thinkers simply needs to apply already established procedures and memory to recall, so that you will come out with the correct answer. If I have that memory to recall, that determines how fast I am. Okay, and if I have that experience of doing it continuously, I keep on solving all mathematical problems continuously, means then my speed will be higher. Okay, so that is what your convergent or analytical thinking. I have one more exercise, but before that, we'll just finish all these 4. Okay, then I'll come back to that. So divergent, as I was telling, there is no single correct answer. To come up with solution to the questions without clear answers, we have to break down all the possibilities and analyze each one. Then we can say that maybe this is better or that is better. Okay, so that is what divergent thinking. The third is critical thinking. So this involves analyzing something in order to form a judgment. I think these words and all already you came out, isn't it? You have been telling these words. Judgment is there, analyzing is there. So we are trying to analyze something in order to form or come to a conclusion or making a judgment. You will not just take only the assumptions which are there. Just like that, somebody is saying something, immediately I'm not going to accept that. I will just think whether it is really, whatever they are saying, whether it is true. I will start critiquing, okay, with your intellectual knowledge. Maybe the related data or facts you can try to collect to check it. You might have seen in your family itself, there are children, during maybe like some 2 years, 3 years, up to some 6 to 7, up 10 years itself. Whatever we'll say, they'll be asking us a lot of questions. If you say, see, morning, night time and all, don't go out. Immediately they'll say why. They'll ask you why, right? Yes or no? So sometimes even whatever questions the child is asking, you find it very difficult to give them a proper answer for it. Because we are believing or we are assuming things based on whatever our forefathers or somebody has told already. That we'll be just following up. So we also make those people, our kids also do like that. And we'll say, if they keep on asking questions, you will say, can't you please keep quiet? Why you are continuously asking all these questions? So that stage itself, we are putting them down. And we as a teacher coming to college, we will ask your students, girls, please ask questions, or students, please ask questions. Isn't it? So that is a different story. But anyway, so critical thinking involves that critiquing what your views are, okay, using whatever available intellectual knowledge. And there may be both good and bad reasons for believing something. So which one you will follow? Yeah, Sujata ma'am is saying it's very difficult to answer kids sometimes. Yeah, very true. I also have 2 kids at home. It's very, very difficult to answer all their questions. And sometimes you are also in a mood that already you are exhausted from the morning to the evening, college, work, everything you're finishing and going back, and kids are asking you some question, you will just ignore them, right? But that is okay. So whatever I am believing, there are both good and bad reasons, right? But which one you will adopt? See, if there are only bad reasons to accept that, can I agree with that? If you want to believe something, but only you have only bad reasons for accepting it, do you agree? Can I get my question? See, you are saying, so you're believing something, but for that belief, you have only bad reasons. You don't have any good reasons. And can you believe that?
No, ma'am, no.
Yeah, so as a critical thinker, yes, as a critical thinker, I have to differentiate, because somebody was saying, even one of the important skills of critical thinking is that you should differentiate. You should know which is good, which is bad. If I have good reasons to believe, then I can believe it. Otherwise, no. That is what critical thinking means. Okay. And the fourth, I think somebody is creating some annotation in the PPT. I don't know what's that. Fine. So the final fourth one is your creative thinking, which involves some unusual, unconventional, and alternative ways to generate the new ideas about your established topic. So creative thinker will try to address an issue from the perspective that has not been used before. You are trying in a very new way, a very innovative way. That is what a creative thinking means. So when you want to be a creative thinker means you require all the first 3. Yes or no? I should have divergent thinking. I should have critical thinking. All those. When you go to the next higher level, automatically the first lower levels are included in it. Okay. So those were the 4 different types of thinking. So out of this, the critical thinking and creative thinking will be explored. So now I just wanted to give you a small, just to test a small, maybe you can use your analytical thinking or creative thinking. We'll see what skills you are using for that. So can you all see this? Just a small question. Yeah, you have to write digits 1 to 9 so that each row, see I have 9 circles, right? Each row wise, column wise, Diagonal wise, we should add it to 15. Can you do it? Maybe I'll give you 2 minutes. You can try, all of you.
Ma'am, can the numbers repeat?
No. Yeah, condition is that the number should not repeat. I forgot to mention it there. Please note, it should not repeat. Hope everybody is trying. Fine. Do it. So column wise, 5 plus 4 plus 6. Okay, 15. That is one column you say. Column wise. Okay, first column. What about the second column, third column? Madhumita?
Thinking, ma'am. Just a minute.
Yeah. Fine. Do it.
762. Second.
762. Second column.
Yes.
I think the voice is breaking. If you want, you can just type it in the chat also. Actually, I have a Jamboard. You all of you want to update that in the Jamboard? You want to try it? Any of you have used Jamboard?
Yes, ma'am. I use.
Yeah. Okay. So shall I share that? Yes. Third column.
Third column 294.
Okay. 294. Third column. What about the second column?
Second column.
See, before giving answer, see that you are checking row wise, column wise, then diagonally. I think Abba has given an answer in the chat. Can you all check whether her answer is right and tell me? You can check it row wise. So first row, second row, third row. Column wise, first column, second column, third column. I think it is working out. Diagonally. Yes. I think she got the answer, yes or no?
Ma'am, it's correct. It
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
It works.
Good. So you all can appreciate Abba. Good. Now can you tell me how you got this answer? Because everybody was trying, they find it little difficult. And there is one more thing. Even it is not that only this answer. You can also have other answers.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So my problem was that she has put 816 in the first one. The other one is 357. I've placed the second one in the first and the second first in the second one.
On that case, you may not have all those correctly.
But the thing
but
is,
even with the same thing, you can get many answers.
Yeah.
You can try it up, Lynette. Oh, Abba, you taught this topics very good. So do you have any logic? You want to share your logic with others? How do you solve this? You can unmute and speak if you want. You want to share the logic? Yeah, Preeti Agarwal has also got it. 816-357-492. Even you can interchange the first row, third row, first column, second column, then also you will get the answer. That is what I said, even you have more than one answer for this. But the thing is that since you had 9 numbers, the simple logic is, see, I know there are 9 numbers, okay? And all these have to add towards 15. That is again a condition. So what you can do is you can just ask yourself some questions and bring it down. I don't know whether my screen is moving. Yeah. Yes, sir.
We can have 3 triplets and then we can choose one each triplet.
Okay, each triplet and fit in that, right? But since we had that 9 number, you know, 1 to 9, I have to fill in the all 9 without any repetition. And the 3 numbers have to be added to 15 row-wise, column-wise, diagonally. So first we should try to understand what is the task given. Then how many numbers totally I have? Only 9. Whether it is odd or even, I have odd numbers, right? So it is always better to choose that middle number to the middle, so that it will be easy for you to arrange other numbers in the remaining place. Since you have odd, that middle number, you have only 1, right? Say if 5 is in the middle, what is the remaining? The 5 is in the middle, what is the remaining numbers I have to add it with that in order to get 15? See, many people are getting answers. See, 5 is in the middle. Then what is the remaining you have to add it? 10, right? Remaining is 10.
Yes.
Yes or no? So how do I get that 10? What are the different options, combinations that will add up to 10?
2, 8, 1, 9.
2, 8, 1, 9, 6, 4, 3, 7. That's it. If you get that logic, easily you can fill in to get the answer. Hope I'm making sense.
But ma'am, that doesn't work out for the first row and the last row, right?
Which one? See, only thing is that how you are going to arrange these numbers. I've told you first you choose the middle number. That is fixed. Yeah. Middle number is 5, it is fixed. Okay, now you have 4 combinations.
Okay.
1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6. I have to just try how do I fill in so that the total adds to 15.
Okay.
Now my choices are, see, earlier I was talking about, or considering, sorry. Earlier I was considering all the 9 numbers with different 3 combinations. That will be very difficult. But now I've reduced my problem. It is just like middle number I identified. Since I have odd 9 numbers, the middle number I've chosen as 5. So with the remaining combinations, easily I can try work out. Yes? Agree with me? You can try it later. If any of you didn't get it, you can try it later. So what kind of thinking is this? Can anybody tell me?
Analytical thinking, probably.
But is it only the analytical thinking alone is enough here? Because analytical, your speed, maybe a basic logic, basic understanding, even to solve a simple problem, I may have only analytical thinking. But do you think maybe for somebody they might have found that this is a very simple problem for them? Maybe like Abba, since already she has been teaching that.
Problem solving.
Yeah, problem solving. The situation is given to us. We are trying to divide that or split it. Understand what is that problem first, then try it. Just like you tick. Okay, yes. And you'll be solving a lot of Sudoku also, right? Sudoku involves only like this. So to some extent, some kind of thinking is required here, right? Yes or no? I don't know whether it is creative thinking. We are not innovating anything here, right, Usha? We are not coming out because these answers will be already there. Okay, so basic analytical skills. For some problem, even if I have a minimum analytical skills, I can solve it. But there are some problem, maybe I have to go beyond. So it will require, based on this, how much time I'm taking for solving this, all those depends on your individual ability. Okay, so students will have, so when you give them these kind of problem in a class, whoever is coming up with the first, you can identify in a team. Oh, this person, maybe the reason maybe like sometimes people will solve it, but if you ask them what is the logic behind it, they may not tell you. Maybe just like that, they given some number and they got it. That means that is not right? Whether they've applied, whether critically they've thought about it and they've come out with some logic. If that is the case, then even you can consider that as a critical thing. Getting what I'm saying? Yes? Are you all with me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you. So critical thinking, there are some problem. We are thinking to come out with a solution for the problem. And there are a lot of definitions and different authors, even, research is continuously going on in this area. Different experts, different authors, they'll come out with different definitions. And out of these different definitions, they say even what to believe and what to not believe. Okay, which is correct, which is not correct. Each and everything critically we have to think by asking us lot number of questions. So the characteristics of your critical thinking include even the ability to reason out, deduce, induce. So deduction, induction, all those things, even in our research point of view also will be applying many times. Maybe I'll explain that with 2 examples. Okay. And you also have a definition given by Talon Lens. This I liked it very much because they have been continuously writing about wonderful papers about critical thinking and Pearson publication. Okay, if you want, you can refer that. So they will look, it has the ability to look at a situation logically and understand it from multiple perspectives while separating your fact from opinion, your intuition, because most of the time you will take decision based on your assumptions or opinion or intuition, but don't do it. You should have the fact. Based on the fact, if you take the right decision, that comes under your critical thinking. Clear? So like that, we have a lot of definitions. So let us just focus on this deduction and induction. Okay, induction. So there are 2 concepts that normally we'll be using it in research findings when we're practicing it. So one is like deductive logic or deduction. What do you mean by that? It is just deducting means from many to one. So in research, we'll be using the concept like population and sample, right? Yes or no? So population, what is population or census?
Study conducted about population census.
Yes. So if we include all the entire people, whoever is there, everybody, if you are including, that we consider as a population. Whereas sample, what is a sample?
Survey conducted of the small group.
Yes, small group, but we should ensure that this group is represented. Yes, it is a representative of your population, right? That is very important when you choose the sample. Okay, so small group selection from the population. What is this deductive logic you use when you think critically is that there are some information which is available for the population. Okay, I have information about the population. Can I use that information for the sample? I know the population is like that. So can I assume or can I use whatever the characteristics of my population is also there in my sample? Yes or no? Can you get what I'm saying? I think Manita Morgan. To a certain extent. Yes. Why you are saying like that? I'm saying already I've studied my entire population. I know about my population completely. Then can you say that those characteristics of my population is also applicable to the sample?
Yes.
Yes, that is what my question.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So we'll take a simple example. In this kind of logic, how do we use this deductive logic? Is you are given an information about your entire population. Okay, so from that we are trying to deduce the information about your sample or just one unit. See, suppose there are 190 participants. That is what our population, right, for this particular FDP. 199 is the registered strength. Out of that, maybe we'll take like some 140 people are regularly attending our sessions. So whatever the characteristics, the entire population, we know, we have collected your entire information, right? So you all from maybe like AICT approved institutions working in either a polytechnic or a colleges as a professors or maybe in any other discipline. Only the AICT people have been registered, right? They might have given you that authority to register for this particular FDP. So that population, whatever characteristics I say, each and every individual, if I take it, it will apply. Yes or no? You all agree with me?
Yes, madam.
Yes? Okay. So same logic only here. Say example, I am saying All the MBA graduates recruited in a company through a rigorous selection process, they have proved to be very innovative and effective. Say from your college, some 50 people or that particular company, you take the company. The company, whoever they are recruiting them, if they are selecting some people from MBA, so far they observed that MBA students are very much innovative and effective. So this is what an information that I am giving you about the population. Okay. Now, I am giving you one more information. See, Rama is an MBA student. He has been recruited in the company. My first premise, what I am giving is that all MBA graduates recruited in the company through a rigorous selection process have proved to be very innovative and effective. Now, one information I am giving you is that Rama is an MBA student. He has been recruited for this company. Now, tell me what inference we can make out of this information. Can we make any information, any inference from this information? I've given information about the entire population first. Population is whoever is recruited by that company is the MBA graduates are very innovative and effective. Now I'm giving you one information. It's a sample. Rama is an MBA student who has been recruited by that particular company. So what inference we can make out of this?
Rama is innovative and effective.
Effective, very good, right? So that is what the deductive logic. So Rama will prove to be very innovative and effective. So from the entire population, okay, I am trying to deduct that to the sample. So this kind of logic when you apply, this we call it as deductive. Yeah, Rajalakshmi, Rama is very innovative and effective. So this is, even in your research, sometimes you have used this kind of logic. There is a very broad, the population, entire things are available, information is available. So based on that, you can make conclusion or deduction regarding your samples, whoever you are selecting. So this is one way, deductive logic. Now coming to the next, induction. What is this inductive logic? It is just the reverse of this. If you know about the population, we are taking some inferences about the sample. Now it is reverse. One to many. I know about the sample. Since the samples are representative, if they are real representative means, so whatever the characteristics of sample, that I can use it for my population. That logic you call it as induction. In critical thinking, both these logic play a role, okay, while making decisions. So what is this induction? So the basic concept is here we are talking about sample to population. So we are given an information about the sample. That information we are trying to induce for the population or generalization about the entire population. We are trying to generalize. That is what I think almost all the social science research we used to do it, right? We are not going in for a population survey, right? Or census survey. We are just going only with the sample survey. But we should ensure that we are just selecting only the representative samples. But 100%, which one is the better according to you, whether it is deduction or induction? Which is the better out of these two? Because critical thinker, we can just try to compare this, right? Which will work better?
Induction.
Induction. Why do you think so? Why induction is better?
It saves time.
Yes, because we are going to take only a representative sample, not for the entire population, because it's very difficult to conduct the entire population survey, right? Your time, effort, money, everything is involved. But since this is easy to do it, at the same time, it will have its disadvantages also, right? If you don't select appropriate samples, if your population, from the population, I'm not selecting the right representative samples, what will happen? If I don't select proper samples, what will happen?
You won't be able to conclude what exactly it's there.
Yeah, your conclusion or the inferences that you're making may be wrong sometimes.
Yes, errors will be there.
Error, sampling error. Okay, so that is there. But that sampling error may not happen in our deductive logic. Okay, but it is up to the researcher what they are going to follow. So simple example for one to many. This common example you all know, right? When you are checking whether the rice is cooked, you're going to check only one rice. If that is cooked, which means that entire rice in the cooker is cooked, right? Yes or no? I'm not going to taste the entire rice to check whether it is cooked. Okay. So that is what this induction. So what conclusion I can make is all rice in the cooker is cooked. Okay. So I hope you can differentiate the difference between your induction and deduction. Yes. Many to one and one to many. When we make some kind of critical thinking, when we make some critical decisions, maybe we can apply these logics. So that is what even this definition of your critical thinking is talking about. It includes the ability to reason, deduce, and induce based on your current research and practice findings. Hope you all agree with me. Yes? Are you all with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, again, this is different authors, as I was telling. Different authors is giving you different definitions. This is Edward Glaser. You can just go through. Then how do we question it? There are a lot of, because critical thinking always involves that questioning abilities, right? We should ask whatever problem being given to her. You should ask what, why, who, where, when, how. Spitting it by trying to answer all these questions. Even the previous example you might have seen. I was just trying to explore it with a lot of questions so that I will make that problem very simple to solve it. That is just an analytical problem. So same logic I can apply it in any of the practical real life problems also. Whatever problem being given, in order to come out with a solution, can I critically ask all these kind of questions. So what, who, where, when, how, why. So yeah, interrogative questions. Okay. Even you can ask what if, further questions. If it is like, what if happened if I change something like this? So what? If this is the case, if this is like that, so what? Why can't it continue the same way? Why have to change it? What next? Already this is done. So what I can do next? So even for your research, if you ask these kind of questions and try to answer that, maybe you can come out with a very good research study. Okay. And a Chinese proverb is there. He who asks a question may be a fool for 5 minutes, but he who never asks a question remains a fool forever. Right? Agree with me? Yes. Okay. So each and everything, whether it is good or bad, whether we should not have that, whether I have to ask these questions to them, whether people will feel that why this person is asking even these kind of nonsense questions. No. Whenever there is a possibility, ask questions. Okay, come out with that question. Whether we are getting it, even our question itself may be sometimes wrong, but that is okay. It is okay even to ask wrong questions, because at that stage we start developing. And we don't know how many of us will encourage people in the class to, students to ask questions, right? And there may be few students who will continuously asking questions in the class also. How do you feel, or how do you treat those kind of students? Some people, whatever you say, since you are saying blindly, they will follow, because I'll just tell you which is not critical thinking also. Whatever you say, since you are the teacher, they may accept whatever you are saying. But there may be some people or some students who will keep on questioning. And in the school age, the house itself, we are trying to block that to some way. And in the school also, if teachers are not encouraging them to think and ask questions, what will happen when they grow up? Can you understand what I'm asking? Yes? So have you experienced, do you have any experience like there are some students in your class, all the time they'll be asking you a lot of questions, sometimes even some silly questions. There are students like that, right? What do you feel about them? How do you tackle with them? Anybody? Your teachers, right? Yes.
Yes. Sometimes we also depending, ma'am, what I'm trying to say is they're asking them. who are into the habit of asking questions. So as teachers, I think we try and answer most of their questions. But sometimes what happens depends upon our mood, or sometimes if they're asking silly questions, we get annoyed. We can't help getting annoyed.
Okay, so if last line, what did you say?
We can't help, but
you can't help. Okay. But it is nothing wrong in saying that if they have been asking some questions and they have clarified all their doubts, sometimes if it is beyond our, even we don't the answer for that. Those kind of situations are also there, right? Because everybody is not expert in everything. Yes or no? Sometimes even you may not know the answer for what your students are asking. So how do you deal with that situation? You'll just say, no, you just sit down?
Yes, ma'am. Such a situation definitely arises sometimes. But then, so far as I am concerned, I tell my children a few days. We'll tell you tomorrow, or as soon as I about something.
Because nowadays, I think in this current trend, our role is completely changing. No more we are teachers, right? We are just the facilitators.
Absolutely.
We are just learning with them. Because they are all digital natives, born with internet. They have everything in the internet. Yes or no? Maybe some students before your class, if they know that this is the topic I'm going to handle today, they may come even prepared well in advance. Yes.
And while taking online classes, ma'am, I am learning from this. You do this, you do that, and
they will tell you. They will guide you because they are very much into all this, right? To the technology. They know better. And it is nothing harm. See, in class, I am also a learner, you are also a learner. It is not that earlier days we had like gurus, means they know everything. Whatever they say, we have to believe. But today it is not like that, right?
Madam, I have a small thing. Here,
yes, sir.
He who asks a question may be a fool for 5 minutes, but he who never asks a question remains a fool forever. Is it during the presentation of any kind or during the
No, in their life.
In their life.
Okay. Yeah, because I am not questioning.
Okay, yeah, understood.
That is what this problem means. I liked it very much.
Very good presentation.
Yes, okay, sir. Thank you. Because Google is there. It is giving me all this.
Yeah.
It's not Google that I am giving this. Yeah.
But any day, anything cannot exceed the human brain, madam. I don't believe in Google and all.
Okay.
Critical thinking should be there.
Yes,
this is not actually
that I'm coming to that. Yeah, no. I am just coming to that next.
Limiting our thinking.
Yeah, that is exactly true. Just copying some assignment. When you are giving some assignments to the students, school students, they will go and ask their parents. Parents will say, no, just Google it, you will find it. Just copy that and present it.
Yeah.
Definitely they are critical thinking.
Anything he finds through, he talks through smartphones and Google only. My son, he does the same thing.
Yes. But you should tell them, from the starting itself, see that they should understand the importance of giving authority or maybe other person's work. It is not that just since it is available free, you can just like that use it.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't it? Yeah. That intellectual property, that is intellectual property of some others.
Yeah.
There's nothing harm in using that for your learning purpose. That is okay.
Yes.
But whenever there is a way that where you can show your talent, you should apply your mind.
Yes,
Google will not is not going to help you 100% all the time. Even if it helps also, don't use that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it is work of others, right? You should, wherever, even, my presentation, if you see, wherever I'm presenting something which is available on the net, I will put the source. You are citing them. You're giving acknowledgement to them. Yeah, this person has already done. That is what, because definitely the entire presentation, all the things I cannot do it, right? Definitions you will refer, maybe some steps you will refer. That is fine, nothing harm in referring. But we should give them that acknowledgement. Yes. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you. So I think we have talked about just the definition, and I've told you that 2 types of logic, which one we can adopt to be a critical thinker. And these are the characteristics of a critical thinker. They don't accept all arguments and conclusions. I think okay. And they have that ability to distinguish between facts and opinions. Okay. They have an attitude involving questioning. That's what I said. Unless they ask question, the starting stage itself, you just say them, no, don't question. Then they will be just growing only in that form. So we have to encourage this questioning even from our home. Okay. And from that questioning, they can come out with a lot of arguments, then conclusions. So whatever you say, immediately I should ask, how do you know that? Is there any evidence provided to support that? Are there any alternate possibilities? This is only the way to solve it? Or is there any other alternatives? You can question it, right? As a critical thinker. So these are some of the best critical thinkers. They've come out or they've innovated. Okay, you will remember starting with your Socrates. Okay, you are Einstein, maybe different field like physics or science, Darwin, Galileo, or Newton. Each of these people, they've innovated or they come out with their own. They've gone beyond, right? They're not like normal, or they've come out with this theory or whatever has been evolved, okay, from their research findings. So you can consider them as the best critical thinkers. And these are few management gurus. I just wanted to show them. So you have your Porter. I think almost all the management people will be using or referring Porter again and again. Peter Drucker, C.K. Praglat. Okay, all these people, maybe initial stage they might have started only with a small research, like how we are doing our MPhil or PhD research. And over a time, doing continuous research, they all become an expert in that field, right? So same thing can also happen to us if we do continuously research. Yes or no? You agree with me?
Yes,
Anybody can become like them. Possibilities are there. But we will be thinking only those people can be like that, we can't be. And we are living with our own boundary, okay? Just our whatever daily routine, all those. But it is possible for everybody.
Yes,
okay?
madam. Because when I started writing the papers, research papers, different, different topics I have chosen, like family economics, reverse innovation, virtual courts, each one is different in its unique way. I thought of taking like that, not the normal way of titles and on that research. So each paper should be different, like people analytics, like artificial intelligence with law. So like that, in 2 years, nearly some 22 papers I wrote, research papers, and got published. So I thought each one should be unique in a different way, not the normal retail marketing, organization behavior, human resource, not like that. In that only, making use of this artificial intelligence and basing on that, linking it with law, HR, marketing, and all.
Multidisciplinary.
Papers. Multidisciplinary. Education, again, relating to what you call reflective teaching. All that I wrote.
Good. So you have been doing a lot of research in different areas.
Yeah, madam.
Right?
I am from Indian Institute of Management and Commerce, vice principal there. Also, I'm passionate with Swayam courses and these courses. This is the first course I'm attending. I'm doing from Swayam, and also this is the first course I'm attending from AICT.
Very good. Okay, very good.
Hope so. This will be successful.
Good. You can do what?
In spite of my busy schedule as vice principal, I am just giving time now and then for presentations.
Okay, that is great. Even this 5 days you can spend for learning something, right? That's what I'm saying. We have to be lifelong learners.
Yes.
It is not that what I have learned, especially, in this technological world, everything is changing, right?
Continuous professional development
is very important. We have to update ourselves.
I was a resource person for CPD last year.
Yes. Okay. Which program, sir?
This is FDP for faculty. That is through a research institute and national webinar they conducted. So I was a research person for continuous professional development. Thank you, madam.
Good. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So I was just talking about few of the critical thinkers. I think somebody is talking. Can you just please mute your mic?
But जब इतना बड़ा setup खोला था तो
Shilpa Kumari, yeah. In online, you will have these kind of challenges also, right? Okay, fine. So now I'm going to give you one more small activity. I don't know, most of the management faculty, they might have heard of that, they might have done that. But anyway, I'll just give you that. You can just try it. Are you all ready? Because continuously me speaking also not good, right? In between, we can have some activities. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you all with me? Okay, fine. Yeah. So now you have to, there are 9 dots again. You have to connect it with 4 lines without taking your hand. Can you try it? With 4 lines, you have to connect all the dots. Continuous lines. You should not take your hands.
Can the lines intersect?
What? No. It has to travel continuously, that's it. Try it. I think somebody is trying in the PPT itself. Yeah. But you have drawn more than 4 lines, I think.
How can we do it in PPT, ma'am? It's not at all blinking.
You need not, sir. If you know the answer, you can just do it in your notebook or somewhere. If you know the answer, that's fine.
And maybe they can show it in the video, Kavita.
Yeah, fine, fine. You've done it, sir?
No. Still trying.
Oh, do it, please. Somebody has created the annotation. One second. I'll just stop sharing and sharing.
Is it the one?
No, sir. Your center circle is missed, right?
Oh.
You should cover all the points.
I got
Anybody
it.
Anybody else? Yeah. Usha ma'am, can you just show that? Switch on the video if you want.
1 second, ma'am. Maybe on your screen, I can just draw it.
Is this the one? Second one?
You have 5 lines, sir. I told you should draw only 4 lines.
4? Oh.
Yes, with 4 lines you should connect. Usha ma'am, can you just switch on the camera and show me?
Showing as host disabled participant screen sharing.
Yeah, 1 second. You want to share your screen, is it?
Yes,
you're not switching on your camera. 1 second. Let me just make you as...
No, I can switch on the camera, ma'am. No problem.
Yeah, please. Yeah, Verma sir, you are ready with your answer? Can you just show it? Yeah, I think Usha is showing it. Yeah, perfectly fine. You got only 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But whether you have drawn this without taking your hands, from where you have started?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 1, 2. No, I don't think so.
I can draw and show again, ma'am.
Yeah, you should not move your hand.
Yes.
That is a condition.
Taking the pen out, we can draw, ma'am.
Yeah. Verma sir? We can show it. Yeah. Can you show that?
Yeah.
But your notebook is not visible to us. Just hold it up. No, still not visible. Little up. They're not seeing your answer. Just a paper. Just show it little above. Move it up. Move the paper. Yeah. Oh, how many lines you have drawn?
It's the 4 lines.
No, 1, 2, 3. But you have moved your hands, right?
Yes.
Without moving. But my condition is that you should not move your hands.
Okay, ma'am. I will retry it.
Yeah. Try it. Good attempt, all of you. Yeah, Tanvi Thakur ma'am.
We should not move the hand.
Yes, without moving hands, try to do it.
Ma'am, I've done it again without taking my pen up.
Okay, good, good. Usha ma'am has already got the answer. But only thing you have to draw it without moving your hand, okay? And Tanvi Thakur, I'm not seeing it properly. Okay, it's in the different shade, but she has 1, 2, 3, 4. This also you can take it, right? Yes? Good, ma'am. Thank you. So it is all like, don't confine yourself within the points. You have to go beyond the boundary. Yes or no? Only then you can give a solution. But most of the time, what we do when any problem is being given, we try to focus only on those 9 points. We will not go beyond. So this is the best example. Almost all the management teachers will be using this in the class to tell the students that you should have the out-of-box thinking. Okay? So thank you so much for all who have attempted it. And those others also, you can just try it. I think how minute? Give me one second. I think my screen sharing is paused. So critical thinking also involves out-of-box thinking. Yes, you agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes, out of the box.
Okay, okay. So now we are going to talk what critical thinking is not. Okay, are you ready? But
Yes,
what do you think? Before I show my slide, can you tell me which one you consider that it is not critical thinking?
When you go normally, when you just accept everything and don't think much on that, that means you are not going beyond anything to think. Accepting.
Yes, accepting whatever others say.
Whatever others say.
Okay.
So need not think much about anything.
Yes. But in today's situation, everybody we are using WhatsApp and all, right?
Yeah.
Just like that, whatever information coming in WhatsApp, you will keep sharing it, right? And afterwards, you realize that whatever you have shared is not right message. And especially, I think during this COVID time, there are a lot of messages related with our vaccines. Without understanding, without analyzing from where it is coming, without knowing whether it is a fact or not, just like that, we all have shared it, right? You all agree with me? You might have receiving a lot of WhatsApp forward messages like that. Yes or no?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. We are not analyzing it. We are not.
Yes.
Every aspect.
Even we are not thinking whether it is right. Yes, Verma sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And even, recently I've got a forward, like I think most of them have shared it and they even said that in the status also. They said today is a very auspicious day because when you subtract the current year date from your date of birth, you will get your age. That is the normal logic of calculating an age, right? Yes or no? I don't know whether any of you have received something like that, but I've received. And I've seen people...
I too received it, yeah, many times.
Without thinking, without thinking, without applying, they'll be just forwarding it. And we also do that sometimes in the initial stages. But now we know before forwarding, so we should see whether whatever we are forwarding is the right or wrong. Okay, we should understand that. So what critical thinking is not blindly accepting at face value all statements and arguments made by others, blindly trusting the political commercials, even television commercials. They will say, we are going to give you this much of offer, this much discount, without understanding how it is possible for them to give that much discount. We'll be just placing order and getting it. Yes? Then accepting newspaper stories as fact. Even articles which have been published in professional journals also sometimes they may not be correct. So when we are ready to use that, we should also just check with the basics, facts, whether it is right or wrong. Okay. Then all information in textbooks also. That is the reason they are coming out with reprints, right? Or what do you call revised editions. Why do you think they are revising all the books? Why they have to revise all the books? Why can't they publish the same book ever, same content? I think Vandana, can you please mute the microphone?
For updates.
Yeah, so there are a lot of changes may happen, right? That has to be updated. Sometimes even, that's what I even said, if you read your PhD report now, you have done that some 10 years before. Now you take your own PhD report and read it. You can find a lot of errors in that. Yes or no? You agree with me? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Because over this 10 years, I might have learned a lot of things. Then I recognize that, whatever I've done there is something wrong. Okay? So over the time, you will get that. But here, what I'm saying, what not critical thinking, what you don't consider to be critical thinking is just trusting or believing whatever is existing. So each and everything we'll try to question it. Okay. I think we are running short of time. So maybe the characteristics of a critical thinker already we have discussed. He has to be quick, decisive, being resourceful, out-of-box thinking. That is the reason we have seen that example. Okay, out-of-box thinking. Then these are the components of critical thinking. All these you can just find it from even Google. You can just find out what are the various components in critical thinking. It will take time to reflect once you have gathered all the information. Okay, so you identify your problem, investigate the opinion and arguments, evaluate the information factually, then significantly how we do our exact research. All these things are here as a components. Communicate your findings and results. It is exactly your PhD, what you used to do. So easily you can connect it. Then these are the characteristics. I think already somebody have put in some of the characteristics as of a critical thinker. They will have curiosity, they are creative, they have willingness, honesty, thinking analytically, clear communication, make good decisions, high awareness. Okay, all these you can consider as the characteristics. And there are 3 different models generally people will use when they talk about critical thinking. One is like Watson and Glaser, the critical thinking appraisal model. Even when suppose you want to test the critical thinking abilities of your students, you can give these kind of situations and check it with them. Okay, there are 5 things under that. First is you have to recognize the assumptions. Okay, assumptions are just given for granted, that may not be always correct. So just based on the assumption, first you have to recognize what are the assumptions, then evaluate the arguments. Each strong argument only we have to take. If it is a weak argument, don't consider it. Then drawing inference out of that. Then deduction. So you remember deduction? Okay, so we discussed about the logic of deduction. Then finally you interrupt. Maybe I'll give you some examples for each one of this to understand it better. So recognizing assumptions. So I say you like I always eat oatmeal for breakfast because it is important to start a day with a healthy meal. So you can make a proposed assumptions like oatmeal is a healthy meal and you are health conscious. Can you think or can you tell me that both these assumptions can be derived from that particular statement? Is it possible to derive these assumptions? Yes. Statement is I always eat oatmeal because it is important to start the day with a healthy meal. What are the assumptions I'm making? You agree with me with these 2 assumptions? Are you all with me? Okay, I think they've typed yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Chat. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Now I'm giving you one more statement. I'm saying you that I have scheduled an AICT sponsored FDP by next week. Can you just tell me what are the assumptions you can derive from this? I'm telling you I have scheduled an AICT sponsored FDP by next week. So what are the assumptions?
The FDP can be for 3 days or 5 days.
Okay. Because generally ACT will organize for 5 days or sometimes even it is 2 weeks, right? So you're making an assumption. Okay, fine. Then?
FDP is conducted by ACTE.
FDP is conducted by ACTE. Okay, because I have received some money from ACT or ACT has sponsored, right? Okay, what else?
You will be a resource person.
Okay. So you're thinking that I am the organizer, I may be the resource person. What else? Yeah.
Since you are organizing, that might be in the area of critical thinking or something.
Okay. Okay. So maybe you're thinking that I may be organizing an FDP in a critical thinking because you attended a session on critical thinking.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes,
very good. Yeah. Fine. Accept that. That's it.
One more assumption, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I scheduled an ICT sponsored by FDP next week. Maybe the AICT is sponsoring a useful FDP, which is useful for all the faculty or teaching fraternity. I would like to take up. I have scheduled an FDP.
Okay, fine. So you're saying that AICT wanted to educate during this pandemic, especially, right? They're conducting a lot of FDPs like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so that is the purpose. Yeah, good. So like that, you can make lot of assumption. So first is that I here refer that as you, because my question is I, so I'm referring it like this. So you receive funding from ACT, you have made all arrangements for your FDP. That is the reason you are saying that from next week you are going to start it. Okay, or even since we are at the corona time now, you can also assume that if I'm organizing that as a physical, there is no corona restrictions in my place. Yes or no? You all agree with me? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what. So that based on the situation also you will make assumptions. If this assumption I am making it before this corona time, maybe I might not have considered that. But now you know what is the trend. It is very difficult to arrange a physical FDP nowadays, right?
One small doubt, madam. If according to situations, if we make assumptions, these assumptions will be keep on changing then?
Yes, that is the reason I'm not stopping only with the assumption, right?
So
I'm going to evaluate that.
Today we think right, maybe tomorrow wrong or something like that. Can it be?
But that possibility is based on your environment again, the situation.
Yeah.
That is there. 100% it is there. Whatever I think correct one time may not be right now, right? Situations
because today
changes.
People are using all these kind of things when they discuss, when they talk. Yeah, yesterday I told like that. Today is like this. They are talking.
Yeah, I'm checking. According to the situation, they'll be just changing it.
Yeah, everything is acceptable.
But that should be. But to some extent, we have to that consistency we have to maintain. It is not that just like that I say that day I told you because of that, but today it is not like that. If really that also you have to analyze critically, you have to check whether they say it in the right sense or just like that they are saying.
That is
for the sake of saying that. Okay?
Yeah,
that
actually,
we have to
the statement and assumption I got cleared I got a clear picture of this, which may help me in my net or any other thing. Because always I sometime I get confused.
You'll be trying
today, but today very good explanation you have given, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Same way, the next is evaluating your arguments. Should I buy this laptop by tomorrow? That is the question. So what may be the proposed arguments? Suppose I am saying that there is a discount of 10% which is expiring tomorrow. Do you think, should I buy this laptop by tomorrow? What will be your answer?
A discount of 10%.
10%, it is expires tomorrow. Yeah. Then should I buy this laptop by tomorrow?
Discount will attract.
Yeah.
Person to buy.
So, So one argument I am making is that a discount of 10% expires tomorrow. Okay. Whereas other argument I am saying that laptop prices will increase next year. So out of these two arguments for this question, which one you consider to be a relevant argument?
First one, because tomorrow, not next year.
Yes. So laptop prices will increase next year. That is going to happen only in the next year. That is not having any relevance for my decision that I am taking today. Isn't it? Or tomorrow. Yes. So the first statement you can consider as a strong argument. whereas the second is a weak argument. So when we take a decision, when you evaluate these arguments, you have to check whether I am making strong arguments or weak arguments. Got it? That is your second step. Then from that, the third stage is that you can go up with drawing some inferences. Say example, inference and what is, one second. From the inference, what do you mean by generally the inferences that we are making? What are inferences? You have been given with some situation, some statements, some questions, all those things. You're finding something from the facts. So based on that, you are deriving. That is what you call it by inference. Say a simple example. If the lights are on in a house and voices can be heard from outside, inside, then person normally will make an inference that, yeah, someone is at home. Yeah, Vandana, time is over, I know. I'm sorry. I think we will just wind up with this particular model alone, okay?
No issues.
Okay, thank you. Because this is what the critical, that model I just wanted to talk about. So inference, whatever you are seeing, sometimes you may be inferring something, but do you think 100% it will be correct all the time, your inferences? This inference may not be correct 100% all the time, right? So how do you determine that? Again, you require some facts to check that. Okay? Then finally, you will come to that deduction. Then the last stage is your interpretation. So these 5 steps model, if you apply, maybe I think these kind of critical thinking exercises we'll be doing in our other 2 sessions also, where you can have a good understanding. But as of now, just to understand, there are 5-step model, which is actually recommended by this Watson and Glaser, that critical thinking appraisal model. Based on the same 5 steps, even they have proposed one other model. You can call it as the red model. Sorry, I think, this is the red model of critical thinking. Again, the same 3 steps. Recognize your assumptions, evaluate the arguments, then draw conclusion based on it. This may be the important model which will be widely used in the other researchers also. And finally, how do we improve critical thinking skills? Just by having your questioning skills, you can create a mind map, you can adjust your perspective. Okay, each one try to reason out through logic. You have lot of, do you think critical thinking has to be an individual activity? No, can you just answer me the last question? No, right?
No, ma'am. It can be collaborative also.
Collaborative. In collaborative, even you will get more ideas, right? Yes. Rather than thinking individually.
Brainstorming.
Yes. Brainstorming. Yes, that is what even we have done earlier in our creating that word map. Okay, that is just one example. Yeah, fine. Yeah. Then finally, to conclude, before I conclude, how do you think that we can assess this critical thinking among our students? Is it any way to assess it?
When we talk to them, when we interact with them, when we give them any situation and ask them to come out, ask them to show the result of it, then we can think they are beyond thinking.
Yes, you can give them lot of exercises.
Exercise,
yeah, some activities, assignments, and even you can use some kind of rubrics. I hope you might have heard about rubrics, right?
Yeah.
Any of you have used rubrics?
Is it the cubic one? Which one we have to put into same color?
No. Not that cubic rubrics I'm talking about. Okay. Rubrics are the standards.
I'm sorry.
That you can use it. So you will have a guideline. How do you assess the critical thinking of your student? You may have different statements. Then you can check whether they are exceeding your expectation on that. Say, example, I've told you this 5 model, right? Starting with your identifying, recognizing assumptions or whatever it is. So whatever situation you're given, you can use even the same 5 steps. For each one, you just try to know whether they are above the expectation, meeting the expectation, or below the expectation. In that format, you can grade them using rubrics.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine. Okay. So we have just seen an overall idea. It is just an introduction. So I have a lot to talk about. Okay. But anyway, you have other further sessions also where if at all you have any other doubts also, I think there will be an opportunity to clarify that. Even I'll be there. I will help you. Because of time limit, I don't know whether we have any time for question answer sessions. But finally, to conclude, again, I'm referring to Socrates. I cannot teach anybody anything, but I can only make them think. If some way I made you to think today in any part of my presentation, I feel that yes, I've done my job. Okay. So thank you all. Thank you all for the wonderful opportunity. Hope you had some takeaways. Okay. And there are lots of things for us to learn about critical thinking. What I've given you is just an overview. What is critical thinking? Who's a critical thinker? What are basic characteristics? What are the different models available so that even anybody want to do some research in further area, you can use those models. Okay. And we'll see how best we can bring in these kind of critical thinking abilities among our students. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita. Very interactive session. I saw all the things, the activities that you made them do, though it was an online session. Thank you very much.
It's a critical information, critical presentation.
So interaction.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
It's critical. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Made us to think a lot. Yeah.
Thank you.
Made us to think.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir.
So I have shared the link in the chat box. Once again, I'll share. Please fill in the feedback. Link of the feedback is in the chat box. Please fill in. And the next session will start at 11:30. That will be handled by Dr. Shri Prabha.
I think they can be in the same link. We are not closing it. And 11:30 will resume.
Yeah, you may take a break. You need not close. We are not closing. So we'll meet at 11:30.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Kavita.
Yeah,
I also
thank you,
enjoyed doing some of the activities.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.